when I was supposed to this morning. Kind of slept in a little bit, really didn't get enough coffee. But that's where we're at. A lot of distractions right now. It's crazy, but it seems like the more you have to do, the more distractions you run into. When you don't have anything to do, it's like there is nothing to do. But the second you decide you want to do something, then all of a sudden stuff starts popping up. So, trying to keep from being distracted, focus on what I got in front of me, and the daily, weekly, and overall goals. This is what happens when you don't get enough sleep and you don't get up and move around. You're tired, you yawn a lot. It's just laziness. That's all it is. It's laziness. Gotta get up, gotta move. But finally got around. It's almost noon and I'm headed to the gym. I'm usually leaving the gym about this time, so I'm running quite a bit behind. I hate it when I do this because I do have a set plan, a daily schedule that I like to stick to as close as possible, and getting behind like this just pushes everything else later in the day. Which means it takes longer to get stuff done. I have less time this evening to chill before having to go to bed. On good yawns again today. Like I said, this is what happens when you don't get enough sleep. Been going back over some reading, trying to refresh my memory on a lot of stuff, trying to really get it solidified in my mind so that I can actually apply it again. It's personal belief, but I think we're all responsible for the things we know. Like, if you learn something and then time comes when you should be using that knowledge and you don't, you know, you should be held accountable, right? Not only to everybody else, but to yourself, really. You know, I understand people are people, you know, have issues, have trouble, have bad days, that kind of thing. But if you know it, you should be using it, regardless of how you feel. I think we're all going to be held accountable for what we know in the end. Which brings me back around to distractions. If you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing it because of some other, you know, something else is going on or something else has your attention, you know, you have to really shake yourself and bring yourself back into focus. This is something that I learned early in law school. One of the professors that I had was real stickler about cell phones in the classroom. He didn't like having them in there, period. But he wasn't a dummy. He knew he couldn't stop it, so he just made it so that you wasn't allowed to use them in the room. But even that didn't stop some people. So he gave us a little speech one day about cell phones, and he said, it's easy to get distracted by them, but here's the thing. You're supposed to be paying attention. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You have to know this stuff in order for the exams and things like that, but it even applies to everyday life. If you're driving and you're playing on a phone, then they call it distracted driving, but it's purposeful distracted driving. You know what you're doing. And he went on to say, everybody gets distracted, and it's no vice to get distracted every once in a while. You just have to recognize it for what it is, shake yourself, and then refocus and make yourself pay attention. I heard a sermon the other day that said the average attention span has dropped to like 8 seconds or something like that. That's pathetic, guys. I'm telling you. If you can fight off distraction, long enough to focus, then on anything, 8 seconds isn't enough time to do anything, guys, and that's ridiculous and extremely sad. Imagine having a conversation with somebody. 8 seconds into that conversation, that person is no longer interested in what you have to say. That's a really sad fact to really think about. So how do you deal with distractions? Personally, the way I deal with them is I just recognize that I'm being distracted and refocus. It's not as easy to do. Sometimes distractions are things that have to be done before or in accordance with what you're doing. So it's a little bit more difficult to just stop it and go to whatever, something else, because it's something that needs to be done. But it shouldn't affect the overall trajectory of the day. You have a goal in mind, and you need to meet that goal, even with distractions in place, time wasters, things like that. The other thing I do is I try to make all the time I have count. If I know I'm going to be sitting in a doctor's office for a few hours, I'll take a book to read. If I know that I'm going to be on a drive to the gym or something, I'll think about what I've got to do next, or I'll think about the workout plan or something. I'll try to keep myself focused on what's right in front of me. It's not always easy. It doesn't always work. Like today, I was set up too late last night. And this morning, I didn't get up when the alarm went off like I should have. I slept in about an extra hour. Then when I did get up, I didn't get around. I just went and got some coffee and sat back down and just chilled for another couple hours. And that usually sets the tone for the day. So the rest of the day is going to be lazy and slow. But it doesn't have to be, right? Refocus. Get your head back in what you're doing. And start pushing. Pick up the pace, so to speak. My mornings usually set the tone for the day for me, personally. So anytime I have a lazy morning like this, it usually translates into non-motivated day. I will accomplish a few things today, but not near what I should or want to. And it usually won't be with as much interest or retention as if I had been focused. So knowing that and being responsible for that knowledge and accountable to it, going to go in the gym, wake myself up, get a good exercise in, and pick up the pace for the day and get some stuff done. Distractions happen, but you don't have to be lazy and just let them run your life, let them rule you. It's easy. It's really easy to just skip it because you don't feel it, or just deal with the distraction because it's more fun than what you have to do. but at the same time can cause you a lot of problems down the road, especially if you have deadlines, things like that you need to get done, goals that you want to reach. You can't reach them if you're going to be lazy about it. You got to be diligent, you've got to be disciplined, and that's the goal. That's the main goal, you know. Get the discipline, be diligent, and meet the goal. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here and we're going to shake off this laziness, kind of put away some distractions, and focus on what we got to do next. Get a good pump, get back home, and get back in the books. So yeah, if you see this video, I'm always open for suggestions, tips, hints, how you deal with distractions, how you deal with laziness. Just drop a comment on the video and hopefully we can get a conversation or something going, maybe help some people out. But right now we're going to get in here and get these gains. See you next time.